Another moment. Hit record. All right, you're live. Thanks.
Okay, great, thanks. Good afternoon. I'd like to call to order the March 6th, 2023 Government Operations Meeting at 5 p.m. Eastern. Moving on to item 2, public comment. I believe we do not have anybody in the queue for public comment. So with that, we'll move to item 3. We have 2 sets of minutes to approve. First is from the meeting of October 3rd, 2022. If I can have a motion for that.
I call for motion to approve the minutes from the meeting of October 3rd, 2022.
Second.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Okay. And a motion for the special meeting on February 6th, 2023.
We'd also like to offer motion to approve the special meeting on February 6th, 2023.
I'll second.
Okay. All approved? Aye. Okay, great. Thank you. We'll move on to item 4, update on the town buildings and facilities with Phil Sear. Yeah, good afternoon, Phil.
Good afternoon, Phil Sear, Facilities Director for town. Not much to report on except for some updates on the HVAC systems at Firehouse 3. Rooftop unit curb box will be in March 14th. That's just the box where the unit itself sits on when it sits on the roof. Rooftop unit power exhaust box will be shipped the week of April 14th. And then the main rooftop unit is scheduled to be shipped May the 26th. And at some point in March, the ceiling below the unit will be opened up to install structural steel to reinforce the beams for the weight of the rooftop unit. And that's all I have.
Great. Okay. Any questions for Phil? Okay. Let's move on to next item. Item number 5, the update on school buildings. Ray, is that something you're going to tackle? Stevens School HVAC project and the GMS roof?
Would you like me to try?
Yeah, that's gonna be.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I've been working with Board of Ed quite a bit.
Okay.
So update on the Stevens School. We're actually going to have the award for bid come up on finance this week. Thursday, they did a rebid. They've bid it out with 2 components, one being the actual unit itself and the an add alternate, which would include the electrical. And they're splitting the project into having the unit be on order so that when it comes, they can do another phase of electrical when it's prepared. I guess there's quite some time period between when they put the order in and getting the delivery. So we're doing that phase 2 that will come to finance.
Mhm.
And for the middle school roof, last council meeting, we did the award for the roof bid, and they're planning as soon as school ends to start moving forward on that project.
Okay. Any questions on those items? Just one question on the Stevens HVAC. Is that similar timing for work to be done once school's completed?
It will be. That's their goal. And again, they'll have the unit on order. So if it comes in time, then they could hopefully do all the electrical over the summer. If it's a delay in delivery, then they may have to do it over a different time period.
Okay. Okay. But that's something they can work on during school being in session.
Correct.
Okay. Great. Okay. Item 6, projects. Various project updates. I'll let Mona or Ray tackle them in any order if you like. There's 7 of them listed there.
Yeah, maybe we'll do 6 today out of 7.
That's fine.
That's the farm. Of course, it was approved by Planning and Zoning Commission and the Wetlands Commission this past month. Zubik, our environmental consultant, is currently scoping the remediation for the soil work, the site work. the site preparation for the barn and the parking and the removal of soil, any additions for the remediation portion. There will also be, we will also be out scoping the barn bids. As you may recall, it's $128,000 bid to build the barn. The pad site we're preparing. That was a steep grant, and once the bid gets underway for the remediation portion, we'll start looking at bidding out the barn.
I'm sorry, did you say it was planned by, the plan was passed by wetlands and zoning, or
Yes.
just,
Both,
okay.
both.
Your volume is very low, by the way.
You know why? I'm too far away.
Okay.
Center Green expansion we talked about last time. Since then, we had met with Kerry Wood to try to get a meeting with DOT. It's been a challenge trying to connect with DOT to discuss the next portion of what we need to do with that project. It requires quite a bit of DOT coordination. We need to find out if we need to do any type of widening on Main Street and some intersection widening, and the potential cost for that also. Possibility of relocating a couple of stoplights also. Not sure if I mentioned the RAISE grant last time.
I think you did to some extent,
Yeah.
yeah.
Since then, application has been submitted. It's a joint program between Weathersfield and Rocky Hill to look at some pedestrian improvements, some amenities from Parsonage up into through almost into Hartford on the Silentstein Highway corridor improvements. I believe it is a $600,000 grant. We're working with them through Community Development Office and our consultant Sonic Group, who's also consulting with Weathersfield. So it's a team approach, and hopefully we can get the planning grant to do some conceptual and some engineering design. And phase 2 of that program is to do capital improvement, the construction grant.
So what types of things would they be looking to improve? Because there's already sidewalks to do a lot of that, right?
A lot of sidewalks, particularly for us, we're looking at the area where on the border is at I-91, the entrance and exit ramps under the bridge. That is a huge barrier for pedestrian access to the businesses on the other side and either side. Particularly when we're looking at more apartments being approved down by Wendy's, down in that area, more people are actually using the Silentstein Highway for walking. But once you get down to like where Howard Johnson's is, it's very hectic. It's just primarily auto traffic oriented. And we're looking at trying to get that to be more pedestrian oriented and to become safer for people to cross from there over under the bridge to, Wooden Tap and other areas up into Weathersfield and vice versa, so them walking down to Rocky Hill.
Gotcha.
For us, that's a priority. Evans Road, that we talked about also. Interviews for the consultants will be this week. I believe we have 6 consultants, various ranges in cost. So once we have those interviews done, we go back to DOT, who is managing this project for the grant money, and wait for their approval. Century Hills Drive sidewalks, again, the steep grant, phase 1. Steve Sopolak is preparing bid documents for DOT to review and approve. Again, this particular steep grant is being managed by DOT. And that's just your, 5-foot sidewalk, concrete sidewalk project. And we're looking at a phase 2, which hopefully could be funded through LoSiP grant funds. But let's get through phase 1 first. No report, nothing new on the Elmridge Park upgrades. And that's all I have.
Okay, great. Any questions for Ray on any of those items? None, okay. Item 7, other business. Any topics there, Mona, or Ray? Okay.
No. Okay.
No, not for me.
Okay. Item 8, under new business correspondence communications, item 1, authorization to execute financial assistance agreement, DCD Brownfield grant for remediation or abatement of 2418 Main Street, former Ames property.
If you recall, back in 21, town council passed a resolution, partnering with Belfonte companies on this brownfield grant to help remediate the property and remediate and abate anything in the building. A year later, we were given the final approval, $999,000. Initially, it was a conditional approval based on some financial information that Belfonte had to give to DECD. They had done that, satisfied DECD. Now, this is just a bookkeeping process with every grant we've ever had. We get the award, pass a resolution, apply for the grant. This is the second step. We have to pass a resolution, so giving me authority to enter into the financial agreement. This grant is a pass-through grant passed through us to Belfonte. Belfonte is responsible for complying with all DECD requirements, so we have to make sure that happens. So what we need to do is pass a resolution, this resolution. It's a basic form that we have to follow. So if we can get a motion to do that and get this going.
Ray, is this agreement between us and the state or us and Belfonte?
This is agreement between us and DECD, the state,
Okay.
for this project.
Any additional questions on this? Now, this is going to, we're passing this to go to the consent agenda for our town council meeting this evening, right?
That's correct.
Okay. If there are no other questions, if someone would like to make a motion on this?
I'd like to make a motion for the authorization to execute the financial assistance agreement where DCD Brownfield grant for the remediation of the abatement of 2418 Main Street, which is formerly the Ames property.
I'll second.
And just as a friendly amendment, this is not to approve, but it's approved to send it to the consent agenda for the town council meeting tonight. So all in favor? Aye. Okay, passes unanimously. Great. And I believe, unless there are any other items on the agenda that aren't listed, I will take a motion to adjournment.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, that'll do it. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Take care,
you.
everyone. Good to
Okay,
see
have a
everyone.
good night.
Bye-bye.